So this is just a little demo of kind of a painting on polymer effect. I'm wanting to create a background that I'm putting another piece on. It's actually this little fairy guy, and he's going to be walking out of a forest, and there'll be some third-dimensional like trees and mushrooms and things like that. But I want to create sort of a backdrop for him, and I want it to be very painterly. I don't want it to be fully sculptural because I want this to just be an image that sort of fades into the background. So the first thing I did is with my polymer clay, I created a bunch of blends of green with the scrap clays that I had around, and just kind of pressed this all out and used a tool to do a little bit of blending and swirling to create almost like a marbled effect. So I didn't show you the whole process of this, so you're just going to have to take my word for it. But it's a simple matter of just kind of putting the clay on there, blending things together. And you can use, I use this. This is my Gotta Have It tool, part of my sculpting tool line. But you could also use something like a little spoon. This makes a really great, and this little tiny, whatever the heck spoon it is, these make really good blending tools as well. So you probably have some stuff lying around that works. All right, so I've created this whole background, occasionally using my roller to make sure that it's mostly flat, but there are some dimensional textures to this. Trying to get polymer clay to be completely flat is just like an exercise in futility, because there's always tiny little bubbles around or little bits or indentations, and then this perfect thing that you've got will have this little flaw in it, and then your eye goes straight to the flaw. So you can do it with sanding and a lot of patience and effort. I'm not saying that you can't, but for most of us mere humans, it is frustrating. So what I try to do is build in sort of a overall flatness and then use the little texture tools and stuff to create dimensionality in a very minor way, which then would mask any bizarre flaws. Okay, so now let's get started. I originally started doing this as a bit of a demo over here, and then I thought, let's stop and kind of show the whole process again. But when I was demonstrating this, I was reminding people that when you're looking at something like this, it depends on your perspective. Like if you're taking a little snapshot of a very tiny bit of forest, it may be that it's really dark back there and all of the details and stuff are very dark, and then as it comes forward, all those colors are brighter and lighter, and it creates like a smaller kind of hidden forest area. But if it's something that it's more panoramic and you've got an expanse, like for instance, I'm imagining my little dude is sort of walking through a path of forested area coming into a more enclosed glen of mushrooms and logs and stuff. So I want to make the trees in the background be very light and then get more intense and darker in color as they come forward. So again, it's a matter of perspective. So I recommend that you go and take a look at a bunch of imagery, in this case of a forest, and kind of look and see what's the vibe that you want to get. Which one of those are you looking for? Like coming out of a tiny black forest, or wandering into a hidden glen from a meadowy, foresty expanse, whatever your vibe is. Go take a look at some pictures and see how they work. So for this though, what I've done is I've got all my background essentially on there. I'm working on a ceramic tile. It's crooked up here, so it's not your eyes playing tricks on you. This is actually kind of a broken tile there, but it's a little more than 8 by 8. And I've mixed up a bunch of different browns. And to do that, I took my extras of my green background, and I tend to use some white, some ecru, some burnt umber, or some bronze. I'm using Primo polymer clay, and create lights and mediums and darks. And I'm going to start with my very lightest, and to put like a row of trees back here that are very subtle, that they kind of blend into the background, and then I'll work darker and even darker as we come forward. And obviously I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I want to just sort of explain this process to you, because polymer clay is a really great painting material, mostly because you have this sculptural quality. And yes, you can use acrylic paint or whatever oils to create sculptural effects. You certainly can. But polymer is sort of already made for that. So, I use a lot of polymer, so why not? So what I'm doing is I'm making a tiny little snake, and I'm pressing that down on the surface. And then I'm just using the heat of my finger to kind of blend that into the background. I'm not trying to make it super blurry, but I'm just trying to soften the lines so that I have just that color, no dimensionality at all. And I'm going to put in all of my stems of trees, my trunks first, and then later on I'll go back and add some more branches. So I'll just do another one over here, and then we'll put a few branches in, and then we'll come up on our foreground. And I haven't like firmly decided what's happening in here. Is there going to be a path? Is there going to be different levels of greenery? I'm going to start relying on overlapping trees to provide that depth for me. And then later on, if I have to go back and add little bits of darker green or whatever else to make the difference there, then I certainly can do that. All right, so there is some trunks in that direction. And what we'll want to do, of course, is make some of the branches that come out. And you notice how I'm just really pushing that down as we go, so it can really be grabbed in. Now you notice there's a little bit of a problem there, is that this branch now goes higher than the trunk, which we can't have that. And it's also rather thick because I made it too thick, but that's all right. We'll just make this be a little bit bigger tree with a little bit more trunk, which is just fine. And we'll give it a bit more trunk here to beef that up a bit. But this is the fun, the painterly part of it, is you just are layering it on there like you would with paint. And if you suddenly went, oh, phooey, that's not what I wanted. I didn't really want it to be, you know, so thick right there. What do I do? Well, you take your tool and you go, let's just scrape some of that out of there. And blend back. And see, you can just finish that all off and turn the color, or turn the thickness or whatever into what you would actually really like. So there we go with making the look of a tree, and I'll just put more and more thinner branches, blah, 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 as we go along. So now, let's say I've got a couple of those trees. We want a tree that comes forward from there. So I'm going to use the next darker color, slightly darker than that, than the ones I've got over there. And I'm going to make it thicker because this is coming forward in our visuals. And I'm going to press this in. And if you want to add powders or something, if your clay is not getting as dark as you would like, you can always do some powders. I try to start off with the clay part first, and then powders if I feel like it afterwards, because I'm kind of going for more of a receding into the background look, so I don't want to start adding too many details. And got to keep your browns straight, so you're using the correct ones. And you notice how this has got like a little bit of texture where I've laid the second one over. I can flatten that out completely, or I can go with that because I like it. It's hard to say, you know, just have to play with it a bit and see what you like. Okay, so there we've got a little bit more. Let's see, which color are we working with? This one. And you see how this feels like it's coming forward from those trees there in the background. And I'm not going to put any shading or anything because they're farther back there. This tree would not impact those trees at all in terms of shade. So I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm going to just let the colors that I'm adding speak for themselves. And if you don't want to use your finger for this, you know, you can go back to your little spoon. And of course, this is a more precise tool, so we can do this. I'm also not putting any texture, again, because this is a background thing. This is too far away for me to see texture. As I get up close, then yeah, maybe texture will be a perfect thing to add, but that's not what we have right yet. So let's just put this in here, thicken this part of the trunk up a little bit more. All right, see how we're doing with that? And let's bring this trunk is going to end somewhere in this neighborhood because it's not a foreground trunk. Now I'm going to take my darker still, and let's get a darker one going on. So you see how we're starting to create this depth, that we've got stuff that's there in the background that looks lighter, and then as we come forward, it starts looking darker and darker and darker, and creating that visual of coming forward. Let me just get another bigger branch on this one. And I don't have a specific tree type in mind. Random forest tree is what I'm going for. can make that thicker as we go along if need be, and then start doing these little smaller branches. So you see what we've got going on here. We're just continuing to do this sort of painterly trick using your fingers, using the clay, and creating this sort of background scene that will be a wonderful little backdrop for some walking in the forest dude to be on top of. What do you think? Pretty cool, right? All right, now you go try it.